Right now, the Toyota Tundra is one of the hottest tickets in town. It's coming into Australian showrooms from early 2025, powered exclusively by a hybrid powertrain. I've managed to snaffle the keys to this vehicle, which I'm very excited about. But the burning question is, how much will it cost? My guess, $140,000 at least. Have your say in the comments below. I want to know, what do you think Toyota is going to charge for this vehicle? While you're at it, don't forget to subscribe. This is a world first, a right-hand drive Toyota Tundra that will be available in dealerships with factory backing. Just one model will be coming to Australia initially. This one is the Limited. And again, we don't know how much it'll cost, but it will be expensive. That's because obviously it only comes with that top spec engine, but also because Walkinshaw Automotive has had to re-engineer the vehicle. They've moved the steering wheel from the left to the right-hand side, and that's no mean feat. Its closest competitor is the Ford F-150, because that's also a twin-turbo V6. And while the Ram 1500 and Chevy Silverado will certainly be cross-shopped, they run petrol V8s. And like all those US-built full-size trucks, this one has a very US-centric design, and it's very, very large, 5.9 meters from bumper to bumper, so it's probably going to take up 2 car spaces at Bunnings. Toyota calls this all-new engine the iForce Max, and although they don't like calling it a hybrid, it pretty much is. It comprises a 3.5 litre twin-turbo V6 with a small battery and electric motor to deliver V8 slaying power. This outpowers the Ford F-150, the Ram 1500 and the Chevy Silverado, giving it important bragging rights. This will tow 4.5 tons, which is why most people will buy it. They want to tow big stuff. And it can tow a little bit more in the US, 5.2 tons. But the 4.5 is equal to its 3 big American rivals. And we'll see how it tows and accelerates very soon. Every model sold in Australia comes with a part-time 4x4 system that defaults to rear-wheel drive. There's also a 4 high mode, but that's only for gravel because it's got a center locking diff. And then you've got 4 low for proper bush bashing. Unfortunately, there is no locking rear diff for these models. The Tundra is the newest of the 4 factory-backed pickup trucks in Australia, and it shows. It's got a really modern design, large twin screens, and to be brutally honest, I wouldn't have picked that this started life as a left-hand drive vehicle. One of the reasons for this is that Toyota has used a bunch of components and parts from other right-hand drive Aussie vehicles, like the Land Cruiser 300 series, the pedals for instance, so everything feels natural and normal, and the steering system is from the Lexus LX. So they've managed to avoid having to retest all these different parts. It's been basically plug and play, and they've done a really good job. Everything feels very, very original. You get a big 14-inch central screen and it looks fantastic. You've got a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster here with reasonable options and customization. There's no head-up display or sunroof, but overall, it's got a high-tech feel, and all the buttons and switchgear and controls here you can use with a pair of gloves on. The buttons are huge, and I really like that. The back seat is awesome. It's huge. There's so much space. There's no feeling of claustrophobia or anything like that. And compared to vehicles like the Toyota Hilux and Ford Ranger, the most popular dual cabs in Australia, this is way bigger. You can really stretch out. We even had 3 full-size human adults back here, and we weren't even touching shoulders. It's big and reasonable amenity. I'm a bit miffed there's no power point here like on some US models, but you've got USB A and C, little shelf, cup holders. These vents are angled outward a little bit, which is quite nice. The fold down cup holders and armrest here. And some models have secret drawers under here. This one does not, because you've got a giant hybrid battery instead. But you can still fold these up and get a little bit of extra room back here. So yeah, it's not bad. The stamped Tundra lettering on the back looks really cool. And another cool feature is this little secret button here that drops the damped tailgate. In the back, you've got plenty of fixed tie downs and even 4 adjustable tie down points, which is handy. Plus you've got lights, a camera, but not much else. I feel like it's missing a couple of things, such as a PowerPoint, but then again, the spray and bed liner is pretty handy. A 758 kilogram payload in the back doesn't match its three rivals, the Ford F-150, Chevy Silverado and Ram 1500, and nor does the bed length. It's a little bit shorter in this particular model, but it is slightly wider than the Ford F-150's bed. It's got a 122 litre fuel tank, which again is the smallest in the class, and it's about to get a workout. Cue the driving music. Despite weighing a colossal 2.5 tonnes unladen, the new Tundra feels fast and eager. That twin turbo V6 with a little hybrid module is very, very nice. Now, while Toyota is spruiking this as a premium tow vehicle, I've actually found when you pop it in eco mode, it can be really efficient. I got up to about 50 kilometers an hour in pure EV mode. And even at 100 Ks, when you come off the throttle, revs drop to 0, and then you can give it a bit of gas and up comes the electric motor. It's pretty effective. I would say it's almost more effective than some of the regular hybrids you get in Australia now, like the RAV4 and Corolla, for instance. It's big, comfy and effortless to drive, and the 10-speed auto from the Land Cruiser 300 series is diligent and smooth. It's really nice. It works with this advanced hybrid powertrain really, really well. Standing starts are pretty impressive too. This thing ain't slow. We don't have our timing gear to see just how quick it is, but it certainly feels like it's going to give the new Ford F-150 with its twin turbo V6 a run for its US dollars. Ride quality is very, very good. This vehicle soaks up the hits with absolute ease. It's like a giant couch on wheels, and on the dirt, when you're flying around slamming into potholes at high speed, it barely gets upset. It's a well-sorted, accomplished chassis. In terms of handling dynamics, it's not too bad. There is a lot of body roll on the dynamic section that we just tested before, and it does tend to lean a little bit, but it's not chronic. And overall, it's a very predictable vehicle to drive. It doesn't feel as big as it physically is. We tested it with a 3.5 tonne trailer, and it was not a problem at all. When you're cruising, it pretty much doesn't even feel like it's behind you. Of course, when you put on the brakes or go around a corner, yes, you feel it. But then even with the 4.5 tonne trailer, it is very smooth and very predictable. The fact that you've got this super long wheelbase really helps, and that 5-link independent rear suspension also keeps the rear end really settled. It feels very much in control. The conversion that Toyota and Walkinshaw Automotive have put together here is very, very good. One of the best, no doubt, but I think a lot has to be said of the fundamental Tundra. It is a very, very good car, and it certainly comes through in this short preview drive, and I cannot wait to sink my teeth into a bit more time in this vehicle. There's a lot to be excited about here, but bear in mind that Toyota Australia still hasn't got the green light to sell the Tundra down under. My feeling? This vehicle is ready to rock. It's very polished, and Toyota is being coy about the whole project. Otherwise, why would it build 300 of these to test with customers for 12 months and then throw the whole project away? Anyway, stay tuned for our first full review of this vehicle on our regular test loops on and off road.